Robbie, you are also into property. You are an investor, and I think you bought a lot of homes in Liverpool. How did you get into that?
Well, I sort of fell on it by accident actually, and I mean, I will get this straight. I mean, I'm not in the same league as him. This guy is.
No, you're in the Premier League, mate.
He's a mentor what he does, and I mean, the story he's saying there was brilliant. And I love success stories. I know people who fail, you know, in his own way. He's failed at the start, and then you come back bigger and better, and you know, you're obviously much better as a person, stronger. But I mean, where I sort of fell into it, you know, I was a player, you know, and really you get players, you know, people who play football, and they worry about there and then. You know, they don't worry about
now.
After your career, what you've done. And I had like a financial advisor who obviously was my mentor, and I met him through Graham Souness, who was a then Liverpool manager. He said, look after this kid, and I just sort of fell into it because he sort of structured everything around sort of you know, properties, and this is how you'll get money, this is how you'll earn money, you put your money to this, and eventually you'll go on to bigger and better things. And if I'm being totally honest again, you know, I probably still don't know as much as what I should do, but now that, you know, I have finished, you know, I certainly am going to, you know, do my own work a little bit more. Obviously speak to you know, our new friend here, my new best friend now, and you know, the information that, you know, he can give is just unbelievable. And you know, I'd recommend exactly what he's saying. You know, the seminars that he does, you know, get yourself there, because I know I have got a few, but I'm still learning. I still want to go to these seminars. I want to learn more, and in any walk of life, you're never too old to stop.
Yeah, because I think like when you're in that lifestyle, I mean, I've never had your lifestyle in terms of being in a Premier League football player, getting that kind of salary, having those kind of scoring those goals must have been like the most amazing thing for you.
Of course it was. I mean, I grew up and that's what I want to do. So I mean, from an early age, you know, I've lived my life, and you know, probably the perfect life, and obviously.
But as you said, it's so short, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But you're a little bit different because you've sort of built, and now you're at the level where, you know, you probably wish you would have started at. You know,
absolutely.
I'm obviously a little bit different because I played in the football, and now I'm sort of starting off from the bottom again. We're trying to get to the top because obviously I've finished my career in football.
And how do you feel that you actually made that decision, that great decision to invest in property so early?
Well, again, it was not my call. I mean, a little. You know,
but you still put your money in, right?
Yeah, of course, because you know, you trust people, and look, not everything works. And
that was fortunate for you, definitely.
Yeah, very much so. And I think in any walk of life, you need a little bit of luck.
Yeah.
You know, I certainly had it. There's other people aren't as fortunate. But look, you even said yourself. You mean, there's going to be times when you're not going to earn money, but if you have the nous and you know, the sense and the people around you to sort of help you through that, and then look, I think he's a perfect example.
What Robbie's saying is about, I think the support network is really crucial, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's who you're spending time with.
I mean, Robbie, of course, had a successful career, and he had income to invest.
Yeah.
But many people don't.
That's right.
But that doesn't mean they can't be good investors.
No, that's a myth.
Right.
Well, people think they have to be rich to buy property. You don't.
Yes.
You know, so you can actually find a way to borrow the money to do it.
Right.
And the thing about, just to give you a very, very short story, you probably heard of the global financial crisis that happened in 2008. Subprime crisis, where all the properties around the world went like that.
Right.
Right? So what that did is that gave an opportunity for anybody, really in the street, to buy a property. For example, in the USA, you could buy a property for 10 grand.
Yeah.
And you can get a rental income of 30% return on that.
Right.
You can still buy in the USA $50,000 and get a 15% return on your rental, which is amazing. And in the UK, you can get some that are 10%, you know. So what that did is actually corrected all the property prices. It made it really, anybody can actually do that. And you can borrow the money to do it. Now, banks will not help you to educate you how to borrow money. They'll just give you a set of rules that you have to follow to apply for that loan. What I do is I decode all that, and I go, you know, I find different strategies so anybody can actually borrow the money and then get that property to pay them cash flow so they can replace the salary and not worry about money.
Right. Right.
It is possible, you know.
Well, it is very possible. You know, how do you convince people who may be skeptical?
That's the hardest thing.
Yeah.
That's the toughest thing, because the mindset is because everyone goes to school,
Yeah.
Everybody's conditioned by the parents and the school teachers. You must study hard, you must get, you know, good grades to get a good job, you must be a good employee,
Right.
get married, get a mortgage, blah, 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 and then life's over, right? Then you're a good citizen. But the truth is, the facts are very scary because 98% of the world's population retire financially broke.
That's scary.
That's very scary. And when you understand that for a fact, it makes people start to take action now. Most people don't understand that.
Right.
For example, in the UK, they increased the retirement age by 2 years a few years ago. So now you have to be 67 to get your pension because simply the government don't have enough money to pay the pensioners. Because people are living longer now,
Right.
you know? And, you know, the economies around the world crash because governments cannot afford to pay the welfare and things like that. I mean, if you look at the UK, the government's spending £22 million an hour on welfare.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous, you know? You even get paid £120 a week to be an alcoholic. That's how crazy it is now. Because it's so politically correct that the world's gone just the other way, you know? And once people, what I do is I educate people about that. And I do it over a spaced amount of time so people can actually get it in a simple way.
Right.
And once they get that, then a lot of those people actually say, right, I need to do something about this now.
Right.
So for me personally, I'm giving a service out there. And I love that because if I help one person become financially free, that for me is everything, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And you've actually written a book on that,
Yeah.
right? On being financially free and
I wrote a
independent.
book. My first book was about personal development in terms of sales and communication. That became a #1 bestseller.
Right.
I'm on the second book now. It's called The Financial Freedom Guarantee.
Right.
So I'm just going through that now.
Right.
So what I talk about in my workshops is actually write that down so people can actually get the information.
Right.
Yeah.
And you've done this very successfully in Malaysia, I understand. And you're in
I
Malaysia.
invested in property all over the world.
Right.
And in property, you have to understand when it's going to go down and when it's going to go up. So once you study that, you can actually make a lot of money, but also, most importantly, you can actually hold on to a property that gives you cash flow for the rest of your life.
Right.
You know,
So
you could retire on 3 properties.
So
You
money
could
for
replace your
nothing?
salary.
Money for nothing?
Yeah, in a way. See, people are not educated to get money for nothing, are they?
Right.
They're educated to trade time to get a
money.
salary.
Yeah.
Right? So when you present that to them, they can't really get that. And that's why they have to be conditioned to actually understand that that is the truth, that
Right.
you can do that, you know?